So obviously yesterday was probably the most frustrating episode I've had of Football Manager 23 so far. Really didn't show up in either game, went out of a cup and missed a chance to win the league. So hopefully today we can try and get that wrapped up. I'm really hoping it goes better. Let's get into it. So yes, we're starting this episode off with the game against St Albans City to hopefully secure the title and gain our 4th successive league title in a row. It would be absolutely incredible if we could manage to do it, but as you might remember from the last episode, things haven't been going well in live comms lately, and I don't know why. And just to sort of put a little bit of a damper on our future plans potentially, I don't like the fact that we've now stopped being described as cash-strapped Chelsea Town, and we're being touted as penniless Chelsea Town. We are absolutely broke. We've just gone over 120,000 in debt. And I mean, we're only spending £120 a week over our wage budget. I'd expect that if we get promoted, I'd expect that when we get promoted, let's positive mindset, that the wage budget increase we will get will more than cover this and hopefully allow us to get a few players in as well. I hope for at least like the high 4,000s, maybe even 5,000s, because it's going to be a real struggle for us to get players in. I think we're already one of the lowest wage bills on the team in this division. Yeah, we are the 18th lowest wage bill in this division. Funnily enough, all the teams that we've competed against for promotion seem to be the top ones, other than Lowestoft, who are down in 9th, so they're doing very well. But yeah, we are down on 123,000, and just out of curiosity, if we go up to, say, the Conference League South or something like this, and we have a look at what their sort of wage budgets are like, we would currently be 23rd actually. Tottenham, Welling United have got half the wage budget that we've got currently. That seems crazy to me. But you've got teams like Ebbsfleet who are they going up? Yeah, they are absolutely dominating the division. Yeah, Jesus, 16-point lead. And they're top of the league, so they're going to be going up. But there's quite a few on 400,000 or 500,000 a year. And we're struggling financially on 123. So a worrying look into the future, I would say. But hopefully we can overcome it. Moncrief is excited by our recent form. He obviously hasn't watched the last episode yet, but I appreciate it. And we're going to hold another team meeting to try and encourage the players ahead of the title push. So in the last team meeting, we told them that we've worked hard, go out there and make a fun jump to become champions. I think we should probably go with an ease expectations this time, because it didn't work last time, so let's try this one. We just need one more win to become champions, and I'm so proud of every single one of you for getting this far. That can't possibly be taken badly. Oh, they're all loving it. Maybe I was completely wrong last time, actually. I didn't actually pay attention to what Will Evans said then. I just got so overjoyed by the sea of green that I just clicked the next button and didn't really think about it. But obviously we have already faced St Albans City in this season, and I think we did it on video actually. It was one of the first episodes of the season, and I was really worried that we were going to get absolutely destroyed, and we absolutely destroyed them. It was a 3-0 victory. If I just have a quick look at the stats, I think we were pretty dominant. Yeah, well, dominant might be not a great word to use, but everyone played very well, and it was a comfortable 3-0 victory overall. The stats make it seem a little bit closer than that, but hey, if they can't take the chances, that's not on me. Okay, who are we going to play today? I don't think we're going to change too much, really. I think I might take Helliwell out and put Ratchford on and put Morehouse back in his standard Mazzala position, because he does seem to play much better in Mazzala than advanced playmaker. Apart from that, do we want to take Jack Bates off and put a more defensive-minded player on? No, but I am going to switch him to support. I mean, I know the struggles we've been having are going forward generally in the last couple of livecom games at the very least, but I get worried about having fullbacks on attack, especially when you don't have... You know, Zach Mitchell is a very good defender, and Paradise is more than good enough. Like his stats are actually very good, but there's been quite a few games where he's sort of shown why he's got that no-nonsense centre-back as his preferred role. It's a composure. Yeah, he's got one composure. Like he'll just get the ball and absolutely freeze. So I like to get a bit more support back here, so at least he's got a couple of other options, or if he does mess up, someone can maybe come back and help him. But apart from that, I'm going to give you Borough a start. It's quite a close race between the two, and looking at the last 5 games, Lusuqueno has obviously been better. He's been our best player by a long way. But last time it didn't work out with Lusuqueno, so this time we're going with Yeboah. And let's try Gaksha, Burke and Liddell. I really do like both of them. It's a real shame that we're not going to be able to keep either of them, probably. but I might try and extend Burke's loan if that's completely off topic for this. He has been really good for us this season. 7.2 average, 7 goals, 13 assists, and 3 player of the matches in 30 games. You know what? I'm going to switch Ratchford back to a deep line playmaker on support because that's what I had him on for so long and we were doing really well. I get so worried when I change things. Okay, let's go. Please, please, please don't perform like you did in the last game. Well, actually, we were very dominant in the last game. We just couldn't get a bloody shot on target was the problem. Right, we've been a good run lately. Go out there and impress me. Everyone is gaining confidence. I'm not even going to try individual team talks. We're just going to get straight into it. And we're lining up in our normal 4-3-3. Slightly modified positions on a few of them, or roles at least. St Albans are in a classic 4-4-2. And I suppose we just get going. Starting off in the first minute with Burke. Mitchell gets a flick on and Blackmore managed to collect it. That defender header and it was entirely unnecessary and could have led to a horrendous own goal for them, but not the case. Snardrove managed to collect the ball, gets it to Burke. He's going to get a cross in here. He does. Oh, Ratchford collects it on the edge of the area and he managed to hit the underside of the bar. That was an absolutely nut shot from him. That was one of the strangest shots I've seen all season. Okay, we need to keep an eye on low soft. I should probably have a look at the match stats at some point. Bramble hits the ball to the back post and they managed to hit off the bar that said at the bottom, but it looked like it was off the post to me. Right, 23rd minute, they've got a throw in our half. They do get a ball over. Nadine tries to get into it. Isaac gets it. That was a bit of a shit show, but it's okay. Liddell managed to get the ball and he gets it to Yeboah. We've got a potential counter attack. He's going to need to get the ball inside though, and he does to Liddell, who just runs straight through 2 challenges. He's still going, and he lets off entirely uninspiring shot. 226 people here today. It's nice that, you know, if we do manage to win the title today, at least we're doing it at our own ground. We haven't put on a particularly inspiring first half performance, and it looks like we're going in at 0-0. There's basically been nothing for the last 25 minutes. Our passing has not been good enough today. Okay, attackers need to step up and show everyone. I don't know why I'm trying to really go in on people here. Defence seems to have played okay overall. Nothing been fantastic at either end. And Burke gets a header, and that's off the underside of the bar as well. Sports Interactive, why do you hate me? Ratchford looks to put a ball in. It's not a bad one. Falls Mitchell, no. And now Ben is looking for a counter-attack, but nothing happens from it. And with that, we've got quite a few players that deserve of yellow cards. I'm going to take Burke off. Actually, I'm going to take Yeboah off and Burke off, actually. And then I'm going to bring Gofford off and put Dylan Helliwell in his place. It's been the same sort of substitutions we've been doing all season long. Oh, and as soon as I make all 3 substitutions, Jack Bates gets injured. And I know we don't have another substitution. Why am I even trying that? So we have to take him off. I mean, regardless of him getting injured, we actually didn't have a replacement left back on the bench anyway. So this is a pretty disastrous. I think Pickett can play left back. Yes, he can. But it doesn't matter because we've got no one that can actually come on. So I really just don't know how to handle this. We've got no one who can even slightly play back there. I'm going to bring Liddell back. We'll leave Gaksha up a bit. Have you as more of a supporting role so we're not completely open on that left side. But we're just going to have to try and play out this last 10 minutes. How are Lowesoft doing? They're still drawing. So even if we do concede a goal, we are still currently fine. I'm going to take it back to balanced as well, just to be a bit more sensible. Got a Ratchford corner now, though. If we can get a goal here, that's a penalty. That is a penalty. That's exactly what we needed. Samuel is getting sent off. I've just knocked my headphones off my head. I'm got so excited. Morehouse steps up and he rockets it into the bottom corner. And that might have just secured us the league title. Oh my god, after last episode, that is such a relief. I mean, we've still got about probably 5 or 6 minutes to play, but I think that might be it. Little ball over, Paradise collects it. Jackson's hopefully going to get it away. The ball's just bouncing. Lisaqueno, do you want to go for it? No, okay, that's fine. It gets chipped out. Nadine gets it to Ben. He puts it home. Oh no, it's the 98th minute. It's the 88th minute. 98th, Jesus. Oh, that was just... There's just a bit of a mess here was the problem. Sort of everyone ran into each other and they just had one extra man to come and pick it up at the end. Have they just moved a centre back up front? Well, no. The defence must have been... There must have been a substitution or something. How are Lowesoft doing? They're still 0-0. I'm going to keep an eye on the screen. There we go. Thank God for that. Oh my God. I mean, we had 4 more games after this to secure it. But Jesus Christ, did we make hard work of this at the end of the season. There we go. The cup's getting handed over. Champions of the Southern Premier League Central. Chelmsford Town. Absolutely fan-bloody-tastic. Oh, God. Right. I'm sat here really buzzing that this has happened, but also terrified for next season when we sort of like enter what we would class as the big leagues, when realistically next season we're going into the lowest league that is normally loaded into the game. But from where we've come from, which is basically like glorified pub football, we're now in the second highest non-league tier, I suppose. We've still got the last few games to play out. But yeah, that is quite a formation to end up in, isn't it? Well done, lads. You've sealed the title with your performance. Absolutely fantastic. And actually, even if we'd lost, I think Lowesoft couldn't have caught us anyway because they only drew. Yeah, we would have had 12 points to play for and 13 ahead, and that was the case. So we were guaranteed it today, no matter what. Chelmsford Town clinched the Southern Premier League title. The Southern League Premier Central title, actually, I suppose, if I'm going to be a bit more specific. Managed to win. Right, 5 to 6 weeks Jack Bates out for, so he's not playing again for the rest of the season. Now becomes quite an important and scary thing. Board set initial budgets for next season. The wage budget at 3.7 thousand. How are we going to manage this? We've got a wage budget of £210 pre-promotion. There's going to be a few wage rises going into next season. This is an absolute disaster. We're going to have to hold on. Well, I suppose most of our players are still just going to be first teamers next season. I mean, I don't like making whole-scale changes anyway. And I think we've got a pretty good side here. We're going to be down... But Paradise Leo, Jackson is leaving. He didn't agree to a new contract. I thought he had. But yeah, it's just not interesting. So we need a new goalkeeper. Dawson, Evans and Maguire are also going. I mean, they haven't played a whole lot. Will Evans came in and I was expecting him to be an absolutely incredible player. And every time I played him, he just barely shown up. He had a couple of 7.0s or so. But generally speaking, he was a mid-6s. Can actually play goalkeeper. We might need to give him another bloody contract at this rate. Oh, I am very nervous going into next season because I suppose this is just how we're lining up basically, except without Jackson in net and without Harry Cant on the bench. We've got no keeper. Somehow all this happiness from winning the league has rapidly begun draining away. Anyway, I suppose let's get through the last few games and we'll do the end of season wrap up, I suppose. Oh. And with all that in mind, I have attempted to extend Burke's loan deal. I might even do the same for Liddell, to be honest, because I just think we're going to really struggle to improve on the squad. And the money that we do have available is going to have to go towards trying to find a goalkeeper. Signing players at this division, it's been hard to find someone willing to come for less than £200 a week when we've got only about that to spend in total and we've got to get a goalkeeper in. I don't think we're really going to be able to sign anyone. We might end up having some of the kids on the bench, quite frankly, with how it's been going. So I've offered Burke another year contract. I'm going to hold off probably for at least until the end of the season and just see if there are any options available. Once the end of the season comes, we should be able to see the higher quality of player coming in, that's interested in joining the club. And then hopefully we can try and judge whether we can get a better option in than Liddell. And I mean, actually, while I'm talking about it, when I did put the loan extension request into Cambridge United, it come up saying that they're not too keen on sorting this out right now and they'd rather wait for the end of the season. So this one might not even go through, which is overall quite a scary prospect. So we played through our last 4 games of the season, and they were all relatively comfortable victories. I'm not going to go through them all. 2-0 victory over Lowesoft, so even if we hadn't managed to clinch the title already, that would have secured it 100%. 2-0 victory over Hitchin, Leo Gaksha getting both goals. Matalis Zuqueno grabbed 2 against St Ives, and a bit of a final day blowout against relegation fodder Alvechurch in the final day. We ended up breaking the league record for points with 104. We scored 98 goals. It's a bit annoying we couldn't get an extra 2, to be honest. Lowest conceded in the league comfortably. We had a plus 71 goal difference. There's only actually 2 teams in the league that scored 70 or more in 3rd place Lowesoft and actually 7th place Royston, who actually flew but had a terrible defensive record. One actual bit of disappointing news potentially, though, coming to the club is we're going to have to leave Pack Meadow because our ground is just not good enough for the Vanarama National League North-South rules. We're going to have to move to Damson Park, which is a bit weird because Damson Park only has room for 3,000 supporters. Pack Meadow has 2,000, so I don't quite see what the problem is there. If we check, I'm just going to check Pack Meadow. Yeah, had a maximum capacity of 2,000. Maybe it's something to do with the seating or something like that. Yeah, I really don't understand what the problem is. But it means we're moving and now sharing a stadium with Damson Park, which is Solihull Moors' stadium, actually. And Alvechurch. Do Alvechurch play at Damson Park? Yes, they do. I did not know that. Oh, and Solihull Moors have moved out of Damson Park and gone to Edgar Street. When did that happen? That is unusual, but they're actually flying in League 2, Solihull Moors. That's... Wow, I haven't really looked at the main leagues too much other than when we've had to play against one of the teams. If we finally get promoted into League 2, I'll then do like a recap of how the entire league system has gone since we started to save. But until we're in a professional league, then that's none of my concern. And absolute scenes in the promotion playoff. 2nd place Kettering and 3rd place Lowesoft go out comfortably to St Albans City and Tamworth. So we've got 4th against 5th in a battle for promotion here. That is mental. But yeah, the additional sad news about having to get to Damson Park is we're going to have to rent the stadium, and I have got absolutely no idea how much that's going to cost. And we're already 146 in the red before we've even signed anyone new, although we don't really have the option to sign many people new. But I think I'm going to have to put all my hopes on a goalkeeper, and that's it really, because we can't even re-sign Jackson at the moment. So actually, Tommy Jackson has agreed to sit down and talk about a contract at the very least. I can't actually set him to a proper contract because we don't have any wage bill. But I can re-sign him on a non-contract and just give him £130 appearance fee, which it's not great, and I feel like he could just get stolen off us at any time. And it's actually going to end up being more expensive because he's currently on about that, isn't he? 120 for a full week. But if we play twice in the week, we'd then be paying him £260, which is a lot. But at the same time, what can I do? I just don't have a goalkeeper. His potential's rated good for the Vanarama National North-South. But I don't know if we should try and get someone else. I might offer it to him. He's on a non-contract anyway, so you can always just get rid of him if it's a problem. But I do need to keep him around. I'm going to try and lower this a bit to maybe like 85. No. Maybe 100. No. Maybe like 110. No. It's gone to 120. That is fine by me. And I was just about to record a clip to say St Albans City have been promoted with us. Accidentally clicked continue, and here we go. We've got the end of season review. So let's just get through this. Potentially the last bit of really good news on the season review that we're going to have for a while. So how were our transfers received? Leon Burke was considered an A+ signing. Same with John Liddell, basically just value for money. But they did play a lot of games and we paid absolutely nothing towards that. Joe Paradise is probably the same situation. We didn't really pay him. Apart from that, Tonaja was very good. Will Evans was awful. And you know what? I agree. Like, Will Evans should have came in and absolutely revolutionised our defence. I really thought he was going to be the man to be a solid replacement for Button Forshaw. But 7 games, 13 sub-appearances, 6.91 average. He was pretty useless. Gaksha got a B-. Yeah, overall, that's pretty much as expected. Transfers out. Is it just everyone's fine with everyone going? Yep, fine to get people off the wage bill. Kevin Moncrief being a B, I'm not impressed with. Actually, how has Moncrief been getting on? He's been at Kingstonian in the division below us. He's had 8 games, 1 goal, 6.58 rating. He is really just never going to find this form that he had for us for 3 seasons, is he? I do feel bad for him. Maybe we'll bring him back one day. Loans out. We had a couple of people go in. Ladassi's loan makes sense because he doesn't have a work permit. Deno Ruled could have commanded a loan fee. Toby Jones could have commanded a loan fee, but we were getting their wages paid for most of it, so that was the loan fee as far as I was concerned. How the season panned out, we ended up comfortably top of the league. It was a brilliant season pretty much the whole way through. We had a couple of slip-ups along the way. A couple of very unfortunate draws, it felt like, but overall, I'm buzzing with that. The FA Cup, we also had an average attendance of 141 in literally every tournament. We got to the first round of this. We had a very comfortable qualification period and then got thrown in at the deep end massively against Sheffield Wednesday, which was horrible for my personal morale, but absolutely amazing for the team's bank balance. And we'd probably have been shut down by this point if we hadn't got that match. Because I think we finished in profit for the season, but that's like 220 grand I think we've received over the season, and 150 of that came from that match. So we would be up shit's creek without a paddle without it, quite frankly. We got a B for this performance, and we got a B for the FA Trophy run, where we went out in the 5th round. It was like qualification 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe. Oh yeah, it says 5th round over here and here. Literally everywhere apart from the place that I looked, actually. But a very annoying game to go out against Bromley. We'd been incredibly comfortable up until that point. We only conceded 1 goal all tournament, and that was against Chertsey. So I'm very annoyed that we went out at that stage. I'm not so annoyed that we went out to Bromley. I'm annoyed at the manner in which we went out to Bromley, let's say, because that was an absolutely awful game, as I'm sure you remember. Or you, like me, you might have done everything you can to purge that from your memory. There was so little of it to actually remember thinking about it. So biggest win was a 7-0 victory over Yate in the FA Cup. The match to remember was a 4-0 win over Leamington. And the goal of the season was actually a very late one. It was Leon Burke's free kick against Alvechurch. This was an absolute cracker. One of the few games that we haven't recapped because it came so late in the season. But you get to see the best bit at the very... Oh, you know what? Let's just recap the whole game. Lovely ball over to Yeboah, started things off, and he slots it in. I did mean to just watch the one goal, but we might as well watch them all because there weren't bad goals. Ratchford got the ball to Waldo, puts it back to Williams, who comfortably beats the keeper from the edge of the area. And then a bit of a late flurry in the 80th minute. Burt gets the ball in. Yeboah gets to the end of it. Defender does absolutely nothing and just allows him to put it straight past the keeper. Before the goal of the season, a Leon Burt free kick. Absolutely beautiful, curls into the top left. I'd say unstoppable, but from that distance I feel like it probably was stoppable if the goalkeeper had moved a bit quicker. A fantastic goal, and he's had a fantastic season with us, and I'm doing everything I can to extend this loan, but it's just not happening. So as for the club's finances, our reputation has gone up to local, which is absolutely fantastic. It finally happened. It's taken so long. We've had 4 seasons in a row at obscure, and now we've finally got up to a local team. We've got £9.51 thousand coming in sponsorship, which is almost double last season. If we could double it again next season, then, well, it still won't have much of a dent, to be honest. No broadcast revenue. Corporate and hospitality, we've had 2.5 times as much. Competition prize money has gone up comfortably, actually. That's surprising. It must be because we did an extra round on each cup, so that makes sense that we'd have got a decent amount of extra money from it. And matchday and commercial retail, we've gone up like not far off double, actually, looking at it. That's a lot more than I thought we'd received. Attendances are starting to creep up finally. And as far as merchandise goes, £748, £74 from non-domestic sales. The team of the season is pretty much how I lined up in almost every live com, although Lusaqueno up front instead of Yeboah. But other than that, I know we also played Bates at left back quite a bit, thinking about it. But apart from that, I'm used to reading out almost this exact script at the start of every live com match. Played fantastic across pretty much all areas. You know, Tornadre didn't get fantastic overall rating, but it is his first season with the club, and we've got not much to compare it to. He's got fantastic potential, so he's going to grow into that role very much. Whereas Ratchford's had a couple of seasons and still only got a 6.95. Despite being a relatively permanent fixture in the squad, he got 31 games, 4 sub-appearances. It could have been better, but with Helliwell being mixed in here as well, we had a very good midfield 4, and it's probably our strongest area of the pitch. Manager awards, there are no manager awards at this level, it seems. Fans player of the season, Tommy Jackson. Young player of the season, Lusaqueno. Signing of the season, Alex Williams. Burke got goal of the season, Yeboah, top goal scorer. Leon Burke, top assister. Most player of the match awards, Lusaqueno, which is insane because he didn't play anywhere near as many games as Yeboah did. but when he did play, he definitely took that opportunity. Highest average rating, Tommy Jackson, 7.3. Most passes completed per 90 minutes, Zach Mitchell with 40. So very well done from him. Record breakers, we've got the most goals in a match by a player with 5 from Yeboah. Most clean sheets in a season, 28 from Tommy Jackson. That's crazy. And the highest transfer fee received, 1.4 thousand from selling Cayman Moncrief. It's not a huge amount of money for the fact that we were basically selling a club legend, but we, at this point, we'll take what we can get. Chelmsford Town dared to dream, and thanks to a great run of results in the middle of the season, their promotion dreams came true. That was pretty much what we've had every season so far, despite we've had a great run of results for the entire season, pretty much. We finished on 101 points. How can you possibly say that it was just a run of results in the middle of the season that made the difference? And onto the manager timeline. Let's get up to the current season, which was here. We were crowned champions last season. We finished with 93 points. We've actually done better this season. That's crazy. Club legend Josh Barrett leaves. We've had Johan Tanaja join. 2 points about him, apparently. Chelmsford Town said farewell to Icon as Cayman Moncrief joins Kingstonian to 1.5k. That's, yep, I'm still disappointed about that. And the same with a fan favourite leaving in Odin Button Foreshore to Bury. Giant Killers because we beat Folkestone 1-0. They're in the league above us. That's probably not the best scalp that the team have claimed this season. Also got another surprise in the FA Trophy, beating Haverton Waterlooville 2-0. That was the very early red card game, wasn't it, actually? And we invested in the best by getting Jack Morehouse to agree to a 2-year contract to keep him at the club for another season. We then had Romain S. left to join #United. We then beat off a famous giant killing, beating Kidderminster Harriers 2-0, that was probably the best result of the season. I celebrated my 200th match in charge by completely bottling it and failing to win the league against Evesham United, and having to wait an extra week, where we were crowned Southern League Premier Central Champions for 2025-26 and broke the record with 104 points. An absolutely fantastic season, and look how far we've come. From the early days of signing Tyler McGee, Paul Yakubu, Adam Bolan and the like, Button Foreshore joins here and Button Foreshore leaves here. Him and Moncrief have been with us for pretty much the entire ride. But unfortunately, that came to an end this season. 4 players were inducted into the overall best 11. Jordan Piggott was the pick of the players, apparently, which I'm not sure about that. Maybe he's just the best right back we've had, specifically. Jack Morehouse, Dylan Helliwell and Ewan Torgere also got added into Chelmsford Town's proud history. They're on the bench, but I'm sure all of those will end up in the starting lineup come the end of next season, I would imagine. No one has exactly ran away with it, appearances-wise, apart from Tommy Jackson, who I am desperately trying to keep at the club, as you know. We've spent 1.7 thousand paying out bonuses to staff and squad, and that's left us 146,000 in the red. I am, fingers crossed, praying for some sort of club takeover over the off-season, because I honestly do not know how we're going to survive otherwise. And I don't even know if we're going to have a goalkeeper to try and survive with. It's always nice to come back to your inbox and see a record finish, obviously. First time in the division and we managed to win it. Can't possibly do better. A record points total set. For the league, it's a new Southern League Premier Central record, 104. Lusaqueno set a new average rating for the division, where Dexter Walters had previously held it at a 7.39 from 39 appearances, which I would say is more impressive than a 7.43 from 24, but hey, where is Dexter Walters? Could we sign him, please? Actually, he's not that good at all. So anyway, this has been an absolutely incredible season for Chelmsford Town, and quite frankly, might well be the last incredible season we have for a while. I know I say every season I don't know how we're going to manage next season. I really do think we have come to the end of our dominant run. We're entering the proper loaded leagues in normal Football Manager next season. I don't know if it's Vanarama National North or South yet. I believe it's South because we're in the Southern League here. But we have switched between a couple of times, I believe, and it can all work a little bit weird. Football Manager can be a bit iffy sometimes. But either way, I am going to have to get on with the off-season, and this is going to be one hell of an off-season. So this could take quite a few days to record. I'm going to obviously do my best to stay on schedule, but we will see how this goes. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, maybe leave a like or a comment down below. It really does help out the channel a great deal, and it means a hell of a lot to me as well. Wish me luck with piecing together some sort of squad for next season, and subscribe to make sure you don't miss the results. I'll see you next time.